Starting your day off with a take on Vegas you won't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Holly Madison, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hi, this is William Shatner, and I listen to Brian Shapiro.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and I listen to Brian Shapiro. Why? Because I'm a good American. So is he. And if you don't listen to him, you need to pack up and leave this country.
This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Welcome all again!
Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? It is Vegas Take time. Glad you could join us on a Thursday. We are jam-packed today, man. We got a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. Yeah, we always take your calls. You won't find a more interactive show than the Vegas Take. Coming up in hour number 2, Jameson Walsh from Drive Time Sports will be joining us. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the NBA playoffs. Is Kevin Durant going to come back? We'll get to Jameson. Also, Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. A lot of those Red Sox players did not show up at the White House. Also, a strange story about a Cubs fan with a racist sign. Dennis Rodman stealing clothes in a yoga studio? Yeah, we'll talk to Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports talking about those stories. As you know, or hopefully you know, Michael Avenatti came on our show yesterday, and a lot of interesting topics we discussed, one of which, of course, UNLV basketball. We touched on Tucker Carlson, and I haven't heard it yet, but my understanding is MSNBC used part of that audio this morning. So we had a very interesting conversation, to say the least. And there's a lot of people, not just people on social media, just people in general, that are Michael Avenatti haters, so to speak, right? But I noticed many of these people, particularly on social media, are the same people that are Donald Trump supporters, same people that are to the right, that attack Hillary Clinton all the time, that have no issues and no problems with the things that Donald Trump says and does on a regular basis, or people that have been in his cabinet, that some of whom are in jail. It's called bias. That's what it is. Now, let me be very clear here. It is not my job to be a journalist. I'm not a journalist, okay? I was a reporter for 10 years. I hated it. And the reason why I hated being a reporter is because I wasn't able to be opinionated. I wasn't able to speak my mind. When you're a reporter, it's not your job to do that, right? Your job is to cover the news, to get the audio, to cover the story, and to try to be as fair as you can in what you do. Like I said, I hated it. I was jumping out of my skin because I'm a very opinionated guy. I'm not a journalist. My co-host isn't a journalist. Now, we are talk show hosts. Now, what do talk show hosts do? No different than the last show that you listened to, or most talk radio shows, right? We share our opinions. It is not our job to say and do what makes everybody happy. If that was the case, listen to another show. It is our jobs to share our opinions. Some of you are going to disagree, and some of you are going to agree. That's what makes it a great country and a great place. And you know what? I'd rather have debates with people that disagree with me, so long as it's respectful. But if you say something dumb or say something stupid or you attack me on social media, you're damn right I'm going to attack back. It's the way I've always been. Let's talk about Michael Avenatti for a second, for all you haters out there. And by the way, I thought he was very forthcoming, and if you missed the interview, you can check it out on our Twitter page at The Vegas Take. Even though Michael Avenatti has been charged with some crimes, never been convicted of anything. He's never been convicted of a crime, and he's still allowed to practice law. And in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, some people will say, well, why do you have to go after Donald Trump all the time? What about the Kavanaugh stuff? First of all, I never said Kavanaugh was a rapist. I never said Kavanaugh was, a sexual predator or any of that stuff. I've called him a drunk. Certainly I've said that. But when it comes to Donald Trump, how many people close to Donald Trump, like Michael Cohen, are either in jail or have been pleaded guilty for something? How many people around him? Now, it'd be like one of those things where if you're lead office or an attorney in an office, and all the attorneys that work underneath you that represent you are either going to jail or lying to the FBI, you'd probably criticize the person in charge, right? That's not even the main reason why I criticize Donald Trump on a regular basis. The reason why I go after Donald Trump usually, not all the time, but usually on a regular basis, the way he treats people, the things he says about people, going after John McCain, going after a POW, going after a Gold Star family, going after illegal immigrants, basically going after every and each individual that goes after him. He spends more time attacking Saturday Night Live than talking about an issue like gun control. Those are my main problems with Donald Trump. And I talk about those issues almost on a regular basis. almost every day. Completely different scenario than Michael Avenatti. So that opinion, I wouldn't even call it opinion. It's just complete buffoonery. But that sort of argument makes absolutely no sense. Say what you want about Michael Avenatti, but what he's doing, this whole thing, whether he tried to bribe Nike or not, that's not my issue. My issue is, as far as Michael Avenatti, hold on, my co-host just arrived. Jason, JD, thank you so much for joining us. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
You put on the TVs before even saying hello to the audience. How's it going?
Doing well.
What are you trying to find on TV that's more important than this conversation?
Looking for the Sixers-Raptors game, and I'm going to find it in about 2 seconds.
Oh, that's more important?
That's not more important.
Okay. I'm just asking you. That's all. I'm just asking. Okay, I'll let you watch the game. That's fine. Anyway, going back to what I was saying before I was just rudely interrupted by my co-host who just stormed in and he watched. I think he's got money on the Sixers game, by the way. Michael Avenatti, if you don't like the guy, that's fine. But just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a chance to defend himself, whether it's a radio show like this one or TV. Number one, the guy's entertaining. Number two, I think the guy's funny. Number three, he's never been convicted of anything. That is very, very, very important. So there's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people out there that actually tried to sabotage the interview yesterday. And I'm going to tell you something. If UNLV or anyone around UNLV knew what was going on with that Brandon McCoy thing, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't know. But we are going to find out, and it's certainly, at least it sounds like to me, that perhaps Marvin Menzies knew something. I don't know. Again, allegedly, I don't know. If UNLV knew anything or Marvin Menzies knew anything about that McCoy getting paid off.
If it's true, whoever dealt with Nike, the brand itself, is the person who knew the most, obviously.
Right. Of course. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Some people agree with me. Some people, not some people, a lot of people enjoyed the interview, including Michael Avenatti, who tweeted at Donald Trump Jr. yesterday, tagging us in a tweet as he called, what did he call Don Jr. Biff? I think he called him.
Yeah, his nickname for Donald Trump Jr.
I love it.
Is Biff.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So I'll open up the phone lines. I'll take your calls on this. Some people are going to agree. Some people are going to disagree. Just don't say something stupid or I'm going to call you out on it. But I want to take your calls. Why is it that so many of you, I shouldn't say so many of you, but I would say a lot of people to the right, JD, are such Avenatti haters? I think I know the answer to that because they're biased and because they're Trump supporters, and Avenatti is certainly not a Trump supporter. He's gone after Donald Trump on a number of different occasions. That's why. Let me open up the phone lines. I'll take your calls at 257-5396. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396 if you want to be a part of the program. JD, would you disagree with that assessment? That many of the people that have gone after us are people on the right.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. I also agree that you can't really go after, you can't say, well, Avenatti hasn't been convicted of anything. Well, because neither has Donald Trump. So the same disdain that you hold for Donald Trump that these people hold for Avenatti is kind of, I mean, that's a double standard there.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I think it is a double standard. I completely and positively agree. All right, the number to call, 257-5396. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396. First caller, we have Jasmine. Jasmine, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, Jasmine?
Good. How are you guys? I was just watching your Twitter feed and going back and forth.
Okay, hold on. Can I stop you for a second? And I'm going to give you ample time. Is this the Jasmine that called me a little snowflake liberal on social media?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, so for starters, let's just start there. First of all, do you know what my voting record is? Let's just start with what you called me. Do you know which way I voted?
But I don't care either.
Well, then why would you call me? Then excuse me. Then why would you call me a liberal then if you don't know what my voting record is? I'm going to give you a chance to.
It's obvious from your tweet.
Because why is that? Well, yeah.
You support Michael Avenatti.
Excuse me.
Porn lawyer.
Excuse me. You're wrong, Jasmine. You're wrong. I don't.
Creepy porn lawyer.
Are you going to let me respond? You've said it five. You've said it 5 times in a row. You're not funny. Are you going to let me respond? Do you want to have a discussion, or are you just going to say stupid things? It's your choice.
Okay, I'll listen.
Thank you. It's so nice of you, Jasmine, because it's not your show. It's our show. Number one, I'm not a liberal, so you're completely incorrect. Based on my voting record, I could prove that to you. And number two, just because you go after Donald Trump and you criticize him doesn't make you a liberal. And just because you have Michael Avenatti on your show also doesn't make you a liberal. So now that we've established that you are a complete fool and you are incorrect, go ahead and ask your stupid question. Go ahead.
Well, let me respond to that.
Oh, yeah, please do, smart guy. Please do.
Just because I think Avenatti is a crook doesn't mean I'm a right-wing buffoon.
Did you vote for Donald Trump? Are you a conservative?
Yes, I am.
Okay, buffoon, go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay, you had a chance to ask him about the Nike extortion and the charges he's facing. You asked him if he was running for president. You asked him what his favorite lawyer was.
I did, yeah. That wasn't my question. That was a caller.
We asked him
what kind of probing
which lawyers he looked. This wasn't a probe.
Okay. Do you want to call? Okay, you want to call me a jackass? That's fine. I'll still answer your question, Jasmine, because it sounds like you need a little bit of help. So I'll slow down for you because you sound like you're a little slow. We asked about excuse me, and you act like a buffoon. Do you want me to hang up on you, or do you want me to answer the question? Because I'll give you another question. Even though I have other callers, it's not, you're not very important to me, but I'll keep you on the line. But if you're going to talk over me and call me names, then I'm going to hang up on you. I'm going to answer your question. We also asked, you're very selective, Jasmine, because you have a small brain. We also asked about the NCAA investigation in regards to UNLV. You probably have no idea what that's about because it's all about Jasmine, right? You just want me to attack him and talk about the charges against him. That's not why we had him on the show, you moron. We had him on the show because we wanted to find out information about UNLV. That's important, a local, important story to us, okay? Yeah, I did ask him about Tucker Carlson, about his favorite lawyer. That was a question that we received over Twitter, and that's why I asked that question. The question about running for office or running for president, I'm sorry if you didn't like it because you don't like Michael Avenatti. I know you just hate it, so we just want to ask all the questions that Jasmine wants us to ask. But guess what? The world doesn't revolve around you jackass. Now I'm hanging up the phone because you're a clown. Goodbye. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 702-257-5396. The guy, by the way, I thought it was a woman, Jasmine. I didn't know Jasmine was a guy's name. I don't know. It's probably not even his real name. By the way, Jasmine has 8 followers on Twitter. Okay, it says that he is a real estate agent. Based on his intelligence level and his speaking skills, he probably is not a very good real estate agent. He made assumptions that I am a liberal and a snowflake, which I'm not. I think the only snowflake there is him because he's been tweeting for 24 hours about how his whole Twitter, JD, is based on Michael Avenatti and attacking Michael. His whole Twitter account is just based on attacking this guy. You're the snowflake, dummy. You're the snowflake. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Kelly. Kelly, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, I know, Jasmine, what a loser, right? I've got at least 40 followers on Twitter.
Well, I wouldn't attack you for that, and I've never called you a loser because you have always been respectful when you call into the show. And he went on social media. Thought it was a she, by the way. He went on social media, and he started attacking us for having Avenatti on. And then he asked me a question about Kavanaugh. And me and JD have talked about this before. He said, do you think Kavanaugh is a rapist? Of course I said no, and he didn't know what to say after that. I'm going to answer questions honestly, even an idiot like that. All right, go ahead, Kelly. I would never call you a loser, Kelly. You know that.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome,
Well,
even though we disagree.
My only issue is, look, I'm not a big Avenatti fan, and yes, I did vote for Trump. But my issue with Avenatti is, sure, not the creepy porn lawyer. That's fine. But, he's not, this angel either. I mean, he stole money from his law partners. He stole like
Kelly,
$3
can I just stop you there?
From
okay, I understand. Kelly, can I just stop it?
Yeah, he stole like $3 million from one of his disabled clients.
Kelly,
that's not
Kelly, okay.
good guy stuff.
Regardless, did you hear me say yesterday that he was an angel, or today? Have I ever said that? Okay, I wouldn't say that because I don't think he is an angel. But Kelly,
I know, but you were attacking Trump for like going after McCain, going after a Gold Star family. I'm like, well,
he's the president.
Money from a disabled guy, so
I hold. First of all, I never said he was an angel, and that's not why I had him on, so I could ask him about that.
I know you wanted to know about the UNLV.
Yeah.
Brian justifies having a double standard by saying that he holds the president to a much higher esteem.
Well, if you're the president of the United States, I hold you to a much higher, a much higher grade than a lawyer. That's just the way. I think we all should agree with that. The president is the highest job in the land, and we should all hold him to a higher accountability. I don't think you'd disagree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, you knew what you were getting when you voted for Trump. I mean, that's why it's not a shock. I mean, wasn't a politician. I mean,
I didn't
let
vote for
you
him.
know what you were going to get when on the campaign
But
trail.
I didn't vote for him, so I don't know what you mean.
I know.
She's saying that she knew what she was getting, and what people that voted for Trump knew what they were getting when they voted for him.
But that's academic, and we could also make the argument that more people in this country voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. That's just a fact.
Yeah, but I don't know why people say that because
it's true. That's why.
The Electoral College. I mean, if we went to the popular vote, then New York, Texas, and California would pretty much control the presidency.
What's also true, Brian, is that two of the most liberal states are the most populous in New York and California.
Right.
Okay, but I'm speaking of fact, and the fact of the matter is that more people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump. Now, we can move on because Hillary Clinton lost. That's rather obvious, but that's just a fact. And Michael Avenatti.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I know, but see, that's one of those pseudo facts that doesn't really matter.
No, it's not pseudo.
By the way, I believe today is day 500 of Donald Trump's presidency.
Doesn't mean that she beat Trump. Trump got more electoral votes. He won more states.
Okay, well, that's established. He won the presidency. So did you have any other questions for me, Kelly?
But you're right, Kelly. If the Electoral College was not part of the process, a very, very integral part of the process, Hillary Clinton would be president of the United States.
Yeah, it would disenfranchise, 47 other states.
I understand.
Exactly.
Kelly, I understand. Always
it would be Texas, California, New York, and that's
always good to hear from you, Kelly. We got to get to some other phone calls, but always appreciate it when you call in, even though we have a completely opposite view. I don't think we should hold lawyers to the same standard as the president of the United States. Would you agree with that, JD? Am I crazy in thinking that?
Again, this is a totally different president of the United States. He wasn't a lifetime politician.
But that's not what I'm asking you.
He didn't go through the ranks. The way he became the president of the United States was by playing to a specific crowd and leveraging social media like no one else has done before.
I understand. I'm not disputing that, but I'm asking. It's a simple question. Do you think that we should hold the president of the United States to the same standards as your everyday attorney?
And Michael Avenatti is not an everyday attorney.
But he's an attorney. He's not the president. He's not in politics. He's not representing the people.
Name one attorney in the last 20 years who's been in more high-profile cases in the course of 1 year than Michael Avenatti.
I understand, but you're talking about his career. It's a simple question.
Obviously, we should hold the president to a higher standard.
That's all I wanted to hear from you. Okay. That's it. That's all I wanted to hear you admit. It took about 30 seconds, but I got you to finally say what I wanted you to say. That's all that matters. 257-5396 is the number to call. 702-257-5396. How long would it take if I got you to admit that I look very sharp and very, very handsome today? How long would that take?
No comment.
Okay, fine. That would take way too long. The show would be over with. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Barry. Barry, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind, Barry?
What's up, Barry?
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, sir.
I've got some, issues with Avenatti in the way that he conflates certain legal principles. He stresses, as you said, the legal principle of presumption of the innocence, which applies only in a courtroom. Then he goes on, and he doesn't with respect to R. Kelly, Avenatti is obviously recognizing that the legal principle of presumption of innocence applying only in the courtroom.
I understand.
He says, Kelly's guilty.
I understand, but Barry, I get your point, and in no way, shape, or form am I saying Avenatti is an angel. But however, let me just make one quick point, and then JD, I know JD has a point to make too. Here's the thing, okay? He has a video allegedly of R. Kelly sexually having relations with an underage girl.
And yelling out her age in the process.
Right. So Barry, right. Is that what you were going to say, JD?
No, what I was going to say is I believe that when this R. Kelly thing shakes out and is over with, you're going to find it's more egregious than the Bill Cosby situation.
I agree. I mean, you heard what Avenatti said yesterday on our show. He thinks that Kelly's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. Barry, do you understand that side of this?
No. Listen. I've spent over 40 years of my life in courts, and
you must have committed a lot of crimes. Then I'm sorry to hear. I'm just kidding, Barry. Go ahead. I'm just kidding, Barry. Go ahead.
And the point is, when you talk about videos, and again, for R. Kelly to be convicted, that has to be a video which is admissible in evidence.
Understood.
And again, that plays out in a court.
So you're saying, in layman's terms, Barry, and I understand what you're saying, is that, look, you can't play both sides, right? Avenatti has his legal issues. You can't presume innocent until proven guilty. I get that. But isn't it also the attorney's job when you're filing a suit and you're representing a client that was allegedly sexually, assaulted, molested, whatever, and isn't it the attorney's job to get in the public eye and defend the client and go after? Or isn't that his job? Isn't it his due diligence to do that as an attorney?
Well, Mr. Avenatti is not admitted to practice in Illinois, and let me make a strong point, which I think you should be focusing in on. Look at the Southern District of New York charging document, and it's critical because we recognize. When I say we, it's generally accepted that Southern District of New York prosecutors are a step and above many of the other U.S. attorneys' offices. If you look, and I'll give you specifics, if you look at the beginning, at page 4, article or paragraph 9, the Southern District U.S. Attorney's Office.
Barry, I'm on antidepressants, so
no. This is interesting. I just want you to be aware of this.
To you, yes, but I'm losing half of my listeners.
My experience with the Southern District of New York comes from the show Billions.
Try to make your point, Barry, because I'm
make the point.
I'm going to kill myself in a second.
They point out that Avenatti is an attorney admitted to practice in the state of California. They point out CC1 is an attorney admitted in the practice of California. Then they go on and talk how the crime of extortion was committed in New York.
I understand, Barry,
No, he's not an attorney in New York.
I understand that. Barry, I appreciate your point of view, Barry. I hate to cut you off, but dash 1A dash code 235684 says you were a very boring caller. Yeah,
7D.
Go ahead, JD. That was brutal.
He's just saying that he's out of his jurisdiction, and therefore whatever he does is considered inadmissible in court.
I get his point. I just think he could have made it in lesser than 18 minutes.
He got into legalese. But you know what? You want to talk about Southern District of New York? Watch the show Billions with Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis.
Yeah.
That's the best show on TV, and they talk about that all the time.
I haven't watched. I just cannot believe. And by the way, the number to call 257-5396. I cannot believe the amount of hate out there for a man who's never been convicted of a crime in his life. That is the thing that is incredible to me. And many of these people, like it or not, folks, many of these people that are on our social media page, many of them, I'm talking 90%, because I'm looking them up right now. Many of them are conservatives. They're way on the right. There's nothing wrong with that. But they all support Donald Trump. And I look at their Twitter pages. Nothing about Donald Trump. No criticism at all about anybody on the right.
I would guess that there's probably a few that are directly tied to whatever these allegations are, these charges are, that may or may not like Donald Trump. But you also keep in mind that Donald Trump himself has never been convicted of a crime, and he has probably 50 times as many haters as Michael Avenatti does.
True,
so
but
the same logic, it applies both ways.
But the reason why I would disagree with that is because a lot of people around Donald Trump that have worked for him, that represented him in the White House, are either in jail. We're talking about his right-hand man attorney for 10 years. And keep in mind, JD, Donald Trump was the guy who said, I only hire the best people. Paul Manafort was his campaign manager.
We're talking about his Ray Donovan is what we're talking about. Well, Cohen was his fixer.
All I'm saying is that there are a lot of people underneath Donald Trump that have been in a lot of trouble, that have either pled guilty to different charges, spent some time in jail. So I think it is, look, if Michael Avenatti had, say, plenty of attorneys underneath him that were in jail, then I think it would be more open season. You understand what I'm trying to say? No. I mean, that's just my take. 257-5396, 702-257-5396, number to call. Let's go to Gary. Gary, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind, Gary?
What's up, Gary?
What's up, Gary? Yeah, Gary, you are live on a 50,000-watt radio station. Go. Gary, are you convulsing? Are you having a seizure? I hope not. I hope you're okay, Gary. Are you all right? Because I hear you. Okay, we got to let Gary go.
His voice was muffled for some reason.
Gary, if you need help, if you need medical help, please call 911. I can't do it for you because I'm doing a radio show. We're live on the air. I just don't have time. I hope you're okay. I'm not going to give you mouth-to-mouth. I hope you're all right. If you're okay, call 911. If you're not okay, call 911. Now, if you're okay, we don't want you calling 911. We want you calling the Vegas Take. But if you're not, hopefully he's okay. I'm a little worried about Gary. Is he okay, JD? I don't know. Is he all right?
He'll call back.
I hope he does. 257-5396, number to call. We're talking about the Michael Avenatti and his appearance on our show yesterday. Made some news. Certainly locally when it comes to UNLV, his comments about Brandon McCoy were certainly saying that there were some shenanigans going on there. I believe it was Avenatti that said that there were 3 or 4 payments made. Several payments, I believe is the word he used. Multiple payments to Brandon McCoy by Nike to play basketball at UNLV, which at the time was a Nike school. He also talked a little bit about Don Jr. He talked a lot about the fact that he would love to debate Don Jr. He'd love to have an open forum, an open debate. 257-5396. Let's go to Jim. Jim, I got about a minute for you, my man. How's it going?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. What's up, Jim?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, they keep trying to get Trump. I mean, in the meantime, he's doing good for the country. Avenatti, I don't know. He seems kind of shady, but, you know, hey.
Can I ask you a question? Doing good. Let me ask you a question. Besides doing good for the country, we could talk about the economy and how unemployment numbers are down. Do you not think Donald Trump and his business dealings over the course of his life have been shady?
Trump just signed a huge bill today to help veterans.
We all know
huge bill.
Everybody knew that before he got elected, but he's elected, so we're stuck with him until, you know.
So you would agree, though, Jim, you would agree that Trump is a shady character as well. Is that fair to say?
Most politicians are, though, aren't they? Look at Harry Reid. He lied about Mitt Romney never paying his taxes.
I agree.
10 years. Yeah, they adore him in the Review Journal and Green Spot adore him.
Let me address that coming up after the break, Jim. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I don't think we should just brush everything aside and say, well, all politicians are corrupt, so let's just let our president be corrupt. No, I don't agree with that. We're going to continue the conversation on the other side of the break. Number to call, 257-5396. Again, 702-257-5396. It's Sharp and Shapiro, the Vegas Take. We'll take a quick break, and we will be back right after this.